Hello and welcome back to Nekopon Gaming. Today we are doing another SINoALICE dedicated video. We've got another Grimoire coming out tonight on August 3rd. This one's going to be Indolent Horn Kakeuchi, which has Sleeping Beauty as a little lazy bear cub. Super duper cute. I'm very excited for this one. And with this class, it is safe to say that the global releases is definitely going to be in a different order compared to the JP release order. So we can't really predict what will come next, which I think is actually more suspenseful for us and kind of fun, which also means that Crusher might get their classes earlier than later. Now let's take a look at the class and the weapons. Here we have the Sin class, and she's looking so freaking adorable. I love the bear outfit and her pajamas, and of course she's always sleepy because she's Sleeping Beauty, but now she's actually in pajamas and it's just so flipping cute. And of course, looking at the skills now, of course because this is a Sin class, it's not going to do well with water weapons, but is focusing on fire weapons this time. There's seemingly a random magical defense at class level 5, but you'll get your beefy 800 physical attack at level 6 when using this class as a support class. Now, Crushers, Breakers, this may seem a little bit tempting to kind of get this class, but rest assured, you will get enough classes very soon to fill up your 6 slots of support classes, so getting this class won't actually do much longevity for you, so don't do it! Then we have more base stats at level 7 and 8, which in the end, this class is pretty weak in terms of stats if you don't use it in part of your support class deck. And of course, at level 10, this is where you're gonna get your prize, Minstrels. You get your 1.5% increase to buff effects when using an instrument class, so that one is where it's at. That one's super nice, so make sure to get that if you end up getting the class. And if you invest in the level 1 Arcana, it will get you 600 HP, and the level 2 Arcana will get you an additional 800 magic attack when using this as a support class. Now for me, I don't think it's going to be worth spending 1,000 Metal of Desires for 800 non-permanent stats. Only get this if you literally have nothing else to claim at the end of the month. Unless you're a whale, then whales be whales. So for me, I don't know if the new summer event that's coming up is going to be a different metal, because then it'll be a little bit harder to gauge what to spend your crystals on, so we'll see what happens then. Now let's take a look at the weapon. This is the Indolent Horn Kakeuchi. It has Hero's Harmony 3 that greatly increases physical attack and magical attack of 1 to 2 allies, and it also has Support Boon 2, a chance to increase support effects when giving support. But of course, it also has this very interesting story skill called Gathered Echoes 1. It also increases the physical and magical attack of 1 to 2 allies, very similar to Hero's Harmony 3, but this one has an increased power with more fire weapons in your main grid. So this is part of what Sin classes usually do. They have this one element that they really lean towards against, and this one is leaning towards fire. So hey look Minstrels, this is finally not a Champion's Harmony instrument. This instrument is actually really good. Not only does it have Hero's Harmony, which is a fan favorite, Support Boon, another fan favorite, but it also has 3rd highest P attack and 4th highest M attack. Being a weapon that does well in both, having an even but really high spread for both of them is great. This instrument looks to be pretty godly, and I don't see why a Minstrel wouldn't go for this, especially because it has a really neat class that comes with it just for you Minstrels. So I really do wish all you Minstrels out there that's rolling on this one, good luck, because this is not a step banner. Sorg should also consider this one as well, because I will for my 15-5 grid. Next up we have the sword. This one's called Sword of the Lingering Flame. It is an 18 cost fire sword, and it has Flames of Defense 3 that deals great physical damage to one enemy and slightly reduces the enemy's physical defense. It also has Replenish Magic 2 with a chance of reducing SP cost when using commands. This is just a bad sword. The stats are bad, the skills are meh. Just move on, don't do it Breakers. Now this one's called Crimson Death. This is an 18 cost fire polearm. It has Evil Blaze of Assault 3 that deals great magical damage to 1 to 2 enemies and slightly increases your own magical attack. It also has Mental Focus 2 for the support skill, which is a chance of increasing your own magic attack when attacking. PokeLabo is really just throwing this kind of junk into Grimoires now to fill them up with stuff, so please don't fall for it. The stats here are pretty horrendous even for an 18 cost polearm, and the skills are pretty mediocre. Please save your crystals for better weapons. Or waifus. Okay, I need to talk about this last weapon that is a tome. There's a lot to talk about here, So let's get right into it. It has Incantation of Corrosion 3 that greatly reduces the physical attack and magical attack of 1 to 2 enemies, and then it also has a death version of it, and then it has a Coliseum support skill of Destroy Weapon 2, a chance to reduce physical attack and magical attack of one enemy in the Vanguard when giving support. I don't consider this a bad skill to have, so that's not bad. But I want to talk about the Incantation of Corrosion / Death 3 that's part of the Coliseum skill here. This one is pretty interesting since I don't think we have a death effect on any of the tomes yet, where the debuff is more effective in the last 5 minutes of Coliseum. It'll be interesting to see more of these effects come out for tomes for sure. So let me talk about this a little bit so you understand how it works. The effect of Incantation of Corrosion with Death actually has a lower starting point in its skill multiplier, and then it becomes stronger in the last 5 minutes. Meaning it has poorer performance than a standard tome with Incantation of Corrosion until the last 5 minutes where it can really make a match. Of course, it's magnified with things like elementals as well, so if your team's running stuff like Ugalu, then this would really debuff the heck out of your enemies. At the last 5 minutes, the effect from this tome basically applies debuffs more effectively than a tier 4 skill into 2 stats, so it's actually very powerful. If we look at the numbers here, a normal standard Incantation of Corrosion 3 has a skill multiplier of 0.84. Now the one with Death on it, which is the one we have as the Coliseum skill down here, the first 15 minutes is only 0.6, so it's not as powerful as the standard 0.84. But in the last 5 minutes, it blasts itself up to 1.14, which is pretty crazy because that is very powerful. I think this book is very interesting, and I'm very interested in owning as well as a Sorc. Regardless of that, this book actually has pretty good stats for an 18 cost book. You have to remember, because with books like this, P attack and M attack are kind of spread even, so neither one of them will stand out that much. Ultimately, I think this book is worth getting a copy of, at least one copy of, with Medal of Desires. It might be worth rolling on just because the instrument is also really good, so it can be used in your 15/5 grid as a sorcerer. If you don't want to take the risk by rolling, just claim the tome with Medal Desires and then we can limit break it later in the limit break gacha in the far future. Overall, this grimoire is going to be for minstrels and sorcerers. Everyone else should be saving as much as you can for the upcoming summer events and hope some new weapons and classes will come our way. We're going to be learning more about this on the following day on August 4th after the Japanese live stream. There's going to be a simultaneous release with JP, so I'm really excited to see what's going to be alike and what's going to be different about those two. The banner here shows that it could be red, and then the second one we know is Alice because there was a leak on it from the SINoALICE Times. And then the third one is maybe Gretel. I'm just thinking because it's like the green color that Gretel usually has. And then the last one's obviously Hemlin. I really love Yukata girls, so this is very exciting for me. While we are having this exciting event, do keep in mind we are expecting 3 more collabs this year, and luckily for us, SINoALICE original characters usually do come back fairly so often, kind of like the international classes or the camp classes that we've had before. They have been coming back, so I'm sure that this is not going to be the only chance we'll be able to get these summer festival classes. Finally, don't forget the Royal Creator Support campaign. We have a new entry period right now, which is a fresh chance to get 100 Twilight crystals. Just fill out the questionnaire linked down below to enter. When asked, my secret keyword is INVOLVEDCARROT, and you can see it on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't yet. We would love to have you here and continue getting news from me for SINoALICE. I really appreciate that. Thanks again, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!